Let's talk about Mandarin Chinese. For most of us English speakers, learning it feels like trying to climb Mount Everest, right? But what if you could actually do it? What if there was a roadmap, a self-taught method to get you from absolute zero to actually having conversations in just 6 months? Well, today we're going to break down exactly how one person did just that, step by step. So, on one hand, you've got the official word. The U.S. Foreign Service Institute literally calls Mandarin a Category 5 language. That's the hardest possible tier for English speakers. But on the other hand, we have this incredible result, passing the HSK4 exam in only 6 months. And just so you know, that's the test that proves you can talk about a whole range of topics with native speakers. So the big question is, how on earth is that even possible?
And this is what makes this method, which was put together by Dr. Izzy Sealey, so amazing. It's designed to be accessible for pretty much anyone. First off, it's totally self-taught, so no crazy expensive classes. It's super low budget. And maybe best of all, you can do it from anywhere in the world. All you need is you and an internet connection.
Okay, before we dive into the strategy, let's have a quick reality check. This isn't some magic pill. It's the story of what worked for one person. And it took some serious dedication. We're talking 4 to 6 hours of focused study every single day. Now, you can totally adjust that pace to fit your life, but that level of commitment, that's the part that's non-negotiable.
So, where do you even start? You might think it's with your first character or word, but nope. The first step is all about your master plan. It's about building a rock-solid foundation by figuring out your why before you even think about the what. This is honestly the most important question you can ask yourself. Why are you really doing this? Is it for your career? For travel? To connect with family? Whatever it is, write it down. I mean it. That why becomes your anchor. It's what you'll come back to on those tough days when you feel like giving up.
Once you know your why, it's time to define your what. You know, vague goals just lead to vague results. Dr. Sealey's goals were super clear. Get to a conversational level, be able to type in Chinese, and of course pass that HSK4 exam. When you set clear goals like this, you know exactly where to focus your energy. For example, if typing is your goal, you don't need to waste a ton of time learning to write every single character by hand.
And here it is, the golden rule of the whole plan. Consistency over everything. Seriously, a little bit every single day is so much better than trying to cram in a huge steady session once a week. Think of it like building a wall, right? You lay one brick at a time, every day. That daily habit gives your brain the time it needs to really lock in that new information while you sleep. So make it a daily habit, no excuses.
Okay. You've got your master plan, now it's time to get your tools. Step 2 is all about the core resources that are going to give you structure, help you remember everything, and be there to answer your questions whenever you get stuck.
This whole system really stands on 3 pillars that all work together. First up, you've got the HSK textbooks. These are your curriculum, your structured path from A to B. Second, you have the Anki app, which is basically your memory powerhouse. It makes sure you don't forget what you learn. And third, a great dictionary app like Pleco or Hanping is your lifeline for looking up any new words you come across.
Now, it's not enough to just have the textbook. You've got to know how to use it. And there's a system for this. First, you always listen to the audio of the dialogue. Just listen. Train your ear. Then, you read the text and look up any new characters you don't know. And only after you've tried to piece it all together yourself do you look at the English translation to see how you did.
So why is a tool like Anki so incredibly powerful? Well, it's all based on this brilliant scientific idea called spaced repetition. Basically, the app's algorithm is smart enough to show you a flashcard right at the moment you're about to forget it. It's this process of actively recalling the information that makes memorizing stuff so efficient. You stop wasting time on the words you already know cold.
The strategy here involved using 2 different kinds of Anki decks. The first was just for single characters, adding about 10 new ones a day to keep it from getting overwhelming. But the second deck, this is the real game changer, it was for full sentences. And these flashcards had audio from a native speaker, which is just crucial for learning the context, the grammar, and the correct pronunciation all in one go.
All right, your plan is set. You've got your resources ready to go. Step 3 is where the magic really happens. This is where we close the gap between just studying a language and actually using it. It's all about active practice and immersion.
Look, knowing all the theory is great, but you have got to open your mouth and speak. Finding native speakers to practice with is absolutely essential. Websites like italki and language.exchange are amazing for this. And hey, pro tip, if your language partners are in mainland China, you'll definitely want to download WeChat to connect with them. And guess what? The golden rule is back. Just like your daily study, the same thing applies to your speaking practice.
A quick 15-minute chat every day is worth so much more than a marathon 2-hour session once a week. That frequent practice keeps the language right at the front of your mind and builds your confidence way faster.
Now, if you really want to supercharge your listening skills, you need to find something called Comprehensible Input. This is a huge concept in language learning. It just means finding stuff to listen to or read that's just a little tiny bit above your level. You can get the gist of it from the context, even if you don't know every single word. This is how our brains are naturally wired to pick up new language.
So what does that actually look like? Well, it could be something as simple as watching a kid's show like Peppa Pig, where the language is simple and clear. Or it could be using a browser extension to watch Netflix with both Chinese and English subtitles on at the same time. Or just listening to podcasts and music in the car or at the gym. It all adds up.
So we've gone through the plan, the tools, and the practice. But to really make sure this all sticks for the long haul, we need to talk about the mindset. These are the core beliefs that are going to keep you going when things get tough.
This is so important. This is not a competition. Yes, Dr. Sealey's pace was intense, but that does not have to be your pace. The real goal isn't about hitting some crazy number of hours a day. The goal is to be consistent with whatever time you can realistically give.
When it's all said and done, success really boils down to 2 final ideas. First, you have to find a way to enjoy it. If learning feels like a chore, you're just not going to stick with it. So find movies you like, listen to music you love, and talk to people you find interesting. And second, always remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. You'll have good days and bad days, but that consistent, daily effort, that's what guarantees you'll get there.
And I can't think of a better way to end than with a quote from Confucius himself. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. That's really the heart of it all, isn't it? This whole journey is built one day, one word, and one conversation at a time. The most important step you can take is just the next one.